desegregating schools. She was one of the first ones to go into Regent Square.
She was one of the first ones to go into Regent Square.
So should I pivot this way? Well, I don't want it all.
Let me sit next to you so we could
Okay.
have a better one. Okay. Here we are. Me and my good friend Deborah
How are you?
on the Uncle Sober Show. It's a Wednesday.
No, it's a Tuesday.
It's a Tuesday.
It's Tuesday.
Oh, it's a Tuesday. Thank God. I was worried about going to IOP today on a Wednesday. Like, I don't know what she's talking about. I miss my days sometimes. So it's a Tuesday. It's about the 20th?
Yes.
20th? Oh, we're getting close to the end of the month.
Yep.
Thank God. I was moving by the skin of my teeth this month. Cigarettes to everybody this month. I didn't know how I was going to make it to the end. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Ain't got much longer now, though, you know?
Mm-hmm.
So we're talking about some resources if you're in a situation like I was, where things are going very good for you. Life is really good, really feeling like you're on top of the world. The money didn't make you happy, but it didn't hurt either. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And all of a sudden, God has a way of quickening us sometimes, taking things away from us, shaking us up, and making us have a stronger foundation, I would say. Because I feel like my stuff was built in sand before.
Mm-hmm.
My ex-wife and going for a trophy wife and going for looks and that being what drove me. I felt like I was building a foundation in sand because I didn't exactly take the time to find out who she was as a person, if she was affectionate and loving, if she was good for me. So I feel like in these instances, we kind of get a chance to rebuild once the house falls down. Our foundation and build it out of sand so when we build our next house on it.
Right.
Learning from our mistakes because they say if I could only be 20 years old knowing what I know now,
Right.
what I could really be doing if I could just go back in time and have the same knowledge.
Mm-hmm.
So with that same knowledge, we could basically build a better foundation and have a better life from this point on. But still, in the same hand, me being used to a certain lifestyle, having a clothing store in Bloomfield, losing everything. When you get to a point where you got to start over and you're looking at a list of shelters with numbers on it, and it's like, call these shelters, call this list, find out where you're going to stay, you might get frustrated, you might get overwhelmed, you might be sitting at the East End Co-op on the corner smoking a cigarette because they won't let you in there when I first came here a year ago because, you didn't come from a rehab or because you didn't have a counselor vouch for you because, it's only limited room for people. And then you not know where to go,
Right.
Not know what to do. You don't know how you're going to survive from this point on, in my instance.
Absolutely.
You know what I mean?
Absolutely. I think that it is good. I mean, it's hard when you have to go into a shelter, absolutely, because currently I'm in one, and I'm in one by choice because my environment was a little too toxic for me. However, I do walk with God. I have a very strong bond and relationship with Him, and um, let me say this: sometimes when we hit rock bottom, sometimes people have to hit that bottom more than once in life, and it's not to say anything bad about you. There's some things that maybe you missed, and maybe you have to do that again to come back up so that you can learn a couple of steps that you skipped out on it. This is not my first time being homeless or being in a shelter, and this time it's a little bit different because I have some humility with it, and I know that God is working in my life, so therefore I know that He's moving the pieces on the chessboard in my behalf, and I just have to be patient. Now, with that being said, there's also some stuff that you have to do for yourself, and one of those things is you have to get connected with a place that has the resources to help you start elevating your life back up, no matter what it is. And one of the things that I was kind of happy that he wanted to speak about today was gaining resources to help you to be able to elevate your life. And in the city of Pittsburgh, I'm starting to see it's ironic that he wanted to discuss this today because I was speaking with this just yesterday with somebody about having case management. And there is a lack of case management in the city of Pittsburgh. And for the life of me, I do not understand why. More than likely, it's because they don't want to pay these people, because there's a lot of work that a case management undergoes trying to assist not just one person, several people on their caseloads. One of the things that I wanted to talk about was we need more case managers in the city, because I rode through downtown and it broke my heart to see the amount of people sleeping on the street in the cold with nowhere to go.
Say it again.
And I said, well, Debbie, what can you do? How can you be a blessing? And one of the things I thought about for myself is I'm getting ready to start going to school.
You already got a bag.
So that I can do the classes, so that I myself can become a case manager, so that I can help advocate for people who can't advocate for themselves. That is important. There are resources out there, but you have to be connected in with some sort of outfit that can direct you and guide you based on what your needs are. And there are a lot of needs out there. There's drug and alcohol. There's mental health. There's housing. There's people need jobs. So a place that has multiple resources can guide you and direct you and be that support that you need. They should be plugged in. Most places are plugged into all these different factions that can pull you in. But you also have to be the person to do your part, which is there's a door. They can show you the door, but you have to walk through it, which basically means they can bring the resources to you, but you have to do your part by filling it out, by making the calls, so that you can get it what you need out of what they have. So one thing I would like to do is start my own case management company, because it is definitely a need in this city. And as much property that we have in this city, as many buildings as they are erecting in the city, it makes no sense to me why they're building 10 tiny houses when every unit that they're building, downtown to Strip District, they should put 10 tiny houses in every unit that they build around the city.
Amen.
If they did that would help.
Amen.
That would help the homeless situation. There are families with their children downtown living in tents, and that's unexcusable to me.
Have you watched Tiny Houses on YouTube?
I love tiny houses. That is one of my favorite shows to watch.
You know how much cheaper it is to keep a tiny house warm in the winter? How much cheaper
a lot.
It is? No, it's cheaper than a regular house. It's a lot cheaper. You get like a little boat heater, and they'll have the whole house. Like you get one of them little wood stoves. And you could burn wood in it in a tiny house with like a little metal around it, so it's protecting the walls. They have people who put wood in there,
and it keeps it warm.
And it keeps the whole apartment warm. Because you think how small that tiny house is, but how efficient it is and perfect for you.
Well, let me tell you,
it gets real warm real fast. So you probably put one log in there and be good for the whole night.
Let me tell you, it bothered me so bad about the people downtown in tents that I got the idea that once I started working, going out with like maybe my first paycheck and seeing if I could get, even if they weren't new, some used generators and filling them up with with its propane or whatever the gas is, and taking them downtown,
gas mix.
Right, with some space heaters, so they can plug them in and stick them inside of their little tents at their camps, so that they can be warm. It is inhumane for our city to sit back and want to build apartments that people that are homeless, even with zero income, they're not going to let in. I'm looking for housing myself right now, and I'm on Section 8. And you would be amazed at how many people have turned me away with Section 8, which is guaranteed money. People have a stigmatism when it comes to Section 8. They associate it with homelessness, drugs, mental health. You're going to be a problem. No, because everyone that's homeless doesn't have a drug problem, doesn't have mental health. They could have just been down on their luck in life, and they're going through something, and they need a hand up. Not a hand out, a hand up. So that they can elevate their life and be better and live better and have a better quality of life.
Amen. Have you ever heard about a pod hotel?
No.
There's a thing in Japan where it's like, let's just say 2 coffins on top of each other for the quickest reference. And let's say the end of the coffins was open. So it's like a little room, like a little chamber, I guess. 2 on top of each other with the stairs to get to the second one. It's like a whole bunch of them in the room. So let's say that we got like a storage company, a storage building, where they have storage for people's stuff.
Right.
And we turn it into a pod hotel here in Pittsburgh, somewhere close by here.
Right.
And let's say we have those cubby holes, one on top of the other, where you could lay out in it, comfortable mattress. You could have a TV that swivels from the ceiling. That's how it is in Japan. You could put your headphones in the TV and watch your shows without interrupting the person next to you. You could we'll give them like slippers. We'll give them like a nightgown. I mean like a bathrobe. We'll give them like shampoo, deodorant, washcloth, soap.
Right.
We'll have like showers inside the pod hotel. We'll have laundry machines inside the pod hotel for free.
You want some tea? You want some tea?
No, thank you.
Anybody want some?
No, thank you. And because it's pods and they laying out like this, and the person's laying above them, and the person's laying next to them, but it's like soundproof, so you can't hear what the person's doing next to you or above you. Because it's pods, we could charge them $20 a night. Have